My name is Dr. Rasheed Olatunji Moruf. I'm from Lagos State. I hail from Ajerome local government, and I was born and brought up precisely in a ghetto area called Ajegunle. I believe a man owes very little to where he is born. A man is what he actually made out of himself. And it doesn't matter where you are from. What really matters is where you are going. I started with God Disabled Nursery and Primary School. Then I had my secondary education at Cardoso High School, Badia, where I was in 2004. I was the senior prefect, otherwise the head boy, and at the same time, simultaneously, I was the Amir, the president of Muslim Student Society. Then I proceeded to bargain Nigerian certificate in education, NCE, from the Federal College of Education, Akoka, here in Lagos. Then I moved down to the Premier University, University of Ibadan, for my first degree. Then I returned back to the University of First Choice and Nation's Pride, the University of Lagos, at the Department of Marine Sciences for my MSc and now my PhD degree. I had my first degree in 2011 and I had my MSc degree in 2015, and immediately I started my PhD. Within 3 years, I was able to wrap up my PhD. I feel excited emerging as the Overall Best PhD thesis winner because I never had the premonition that I was going to get this laurel. However, at the onset, I decided I was going to get the best out of whatever I lay my hands on. I don't compete to be the best. I only strive to be unique in my own way, because I believe being the best makes you the number one, but being unique makes you the only one. Just according to the Quran 2 verse 6, that every person knew its own place for water. So I believe uniqueness supersedes having competition to be the best or not. Technically, I rounded up this work within 2 years, but I was told I had to register for 3 sections. So that gave me the opportunity to extract a lot of publications from this thesis. I've published in both local, national, and international peer-reviewed journal 12 papers, and I'm still counting from this same thesis. And while I did my coursework, I was able to have the perfect CGP score of 5.0, which earned me the School of Postgraduate School award and grants. And not only that, I also won several awards from the Unilag Muslim alumni, Unilag Muslim community, and for where I work, that is Bayero University Fellowship for PhD. So the work was precisely on how to get an indicator for safety consumption of seafood, because a lot of this seafood harbor pathogens. They absorb agatoxins and accumulate trace matter even higher than, in values higher than that of the aquatic environment. Their illnesses for harvesting seafood from contaminated region include salmonellosis, shigellosis, cholera, food poisoning, which has actually gone outbreak in many parts of the world. So this prompted my desire to get an indicator for safety consumption of this seafood. Number one was that this university I must be sincere with you, University of Lagos is a university to be. I had my first degree in another university, but before coming into University of Lagos, I learned this school places great premium on the development of students both at undergraduate and postgraduate level. So this gave me the opportunity to inspire becoming a prospective student in this school. And my choosing course also motivated my choice of university. The facilities for my course, Marine Sciences, here at the University of Lagos is second to none. We are surrounded naturally with a static view of Lagos Lagoon, which happens to be one of the coastal lagoons in southwest Nigeria. So this has prompted my desire to run for my MSc and PhD program. And I was so lucky having a mother as a supervisor and having a father as the second supervisor as well, in the person of Professor Aderonke Omolara Lawalare. The uncommon support of this woman, together with Associate Professor Khalid Olajide Adekoya, the uncommon support of this supervisor actually redefined the academic potential in me. I must be sincere with you, the great lesson is how to carry out a solid and a good research work together with publication and how to supervise students. And I must tell you that belief in me actually inspired me to deviate from the stereotypic project idea that we have around. At the beginning, I said I'm from a ghetto area. I'm a kind of student that started from the scratch. Today, I may become a connection, but this is a person that had no connection before. Financing this project was not an easy task at the beginning because I had no work. Fine, my wife was working, but I had no work. I was only on petty business, selling of onion, riding bike to pay my school fees. But after this, my supervisor actually gave me the courage that come and start the PhD. So when I started the PhD, financing the work, I haven't paid my school fees. I couldn't proceed than just to, there are some things that I need to use money for. I had to rug it out, do it myself, go on top of water. So paying accommodation was not part of the budget. Because right from my day one, I've never paid for accommodation. Even in where I grew up, we sleep in the mosque. So accommodation was not part of the money I will even seek for. So school fees and get going, you will survive. So when I started the PhD work, it wasn't as easy financing it, but I later won about 4 grants. Just like what I said, the Muslim community actually gave me accommodation, while the Unilag Muslim alumni, I secured a grant from them 2 times, 2017 Umar Scholarship, 2018 Umar Scholarship, and the PG School doctoral grant. I have a 5.0 as a CGP in my coursework. I was also granted this grant, this fund, alongside with 2 colleagues from social science and I think from arts. So this is how I've actually managed. Then eventually, shortly before I had the defense of this my PhD, I was lucky to secure a job with Bayero University. So the university also was glad to pay the final school fees for this and some other book allowance. So this was the first challenge. The second challenge is my hobby is to travel. I like traveling. I'm a mobile husband, a mobile father to my children. So I love traveling. But it was a challenge because I would have to, the PhD work was a full-time study. So traveling to the north to meet my wife and my boys, I have 3 boys, to meet my wife who works at the Federal University as a lecturer, Federal University Dusema in Katsina. So traveling down there by bus wasn't an easy task. So this is one of the challenges also that I actually secured. But as per supervisor, these supervisors, they were excellent. There was a point just like what I mentioned now, my wife actually stood by me. Whatever happens at home, she will never let me know. The children are having headache, she will just not to destabilize my emotion. So in 2016, she lost her job. So while I was on my PhD, so she lost her job. So I nearly wanted to quit the program. That, okay, let me go back to the streets, ride Okada and feed the family since my wife has lost her job. But shortly, after then, she gained another job at American University in Unilag. So that makes the journey farther again. And so got so good, she was recalled back to Katsina. And shortly after then, I also secured my own appointment, employment opportunity with Bayero University, BUK. So this was the time I think I wanted to quit the program. Just like every science student at the secondary school level, you always want to put in for becoming a medical doctor, medicine, engineer. I also had a similar opinion then, but because of my weak financial background, I opted to study agriculture. That was then when I did the PCE, Polytechnic and College of Education examination to choose Federal College of Education, Akoka technical year. So that I chose agriculture. So that propelled me to further my B.Agric program at the University of Ibadan, where I did animal science to be precise. But I seen fishery as a very new lucrative course that has been extracted from Faculty of Agriculture at my master's level. Then I put in. I didn't want to go back for MSc. I secured an admission, MSc admission with the University of Ibadan, but I didn't accept it. But I had to change my field to fisheries. So fisheries has been, I was not pushed to study fishery. I was actually intended, which I secured the admission. So I moved from animal science to fisheries. So it was a deliberate choice. Nope, I never had. In fact, with this laurel, this award, actually I was just rolling the dice. It is Allah, it is God that actually made the double six to show up. So, I will say 4 below average. I'm not. It's not a matter of being religious. I'm not that social. In fact, I must be sincere with you. I think yesterday was the first time I will get to Chicken Republic. I've been bookish. Let me use the word. It's not a matter of religion, but I love reading. I just feel like the inspiration just comes several times. Pen something down. But now with my boys, we go out. But right from beginning, the financial strength was not there. But I will give myself 4. But now I think I will upgrade it a little. My academic journey here at the University of Lagos gave a good experience of study life. If I want to do PhD again, if I intend to do another one, I will come back to the University of Lagos. To tell you that here the lecturers are superb. The school itself places a great premium on the welfare and the development of students. I must be sincere with you. Get to the PG school section of this university, you will be welcome. You will not be disregarded. Get to the admin, get to the Senate building, you will not be chastised. The religious sentiment is not here. So these are, I will recommend University of Lagos 10 times for any student that really wants to get a quality education here. I want to start from my mom. If you do not fail, if you have not failed yesterday, you may not know how to manage your success today. When I was in primary level, I think the only thing, I wasn't a dullard, but the only thing I knew how to do was just to know how to draw. I never knew BOY, it's a boy. But when I was in primary 5, when my mom is intelligent, though not educated. I remember then she would ask a soap seller, please, what is the name of this soap? Then she will call me, Olatunji, tell me what is the name. If you just make any mistake like this, she will give me knock. So this was to tell you that when I got to primary 5 in African primary school, in Orege, there in Ajegunle, so when she discovered that I wasn't doing fine, other than just to draw, then she withdrew me from the school. Without the financial strength, she actually put me in private school. Then I started all over again from primary 2. But I think that was the beginning of the potential. So my mom was the first person, is the first person I'm going to acknowledge, then my dad. And I've always been having female being supportive in my life. Though I said I'm not that social, but I have female friends that are good to me. So, and this mother's prayer, I think usually I see the effect in my life. So my wife as well, in the person of Ajia Awao Adileke Moruf, she is also a good supportive strength to me. And my mentor, who actually liberated my brain, let me use the word, that is Fakorede Mutiu. He works with KPMG now. So I acknowledge him as well. And my supervisor here, Professor Mrs. Adewonke Omolara Lawalare, and actually Professor Khalid Olajide Adekoya. These are my childhood friend, Kazim Alarakpe. He has been a very wonderful friend. So these are the people, wherever I sleep, Kazim will come over to sleep with me. In the office, he will always come over. Whatever I do, the guy knows everything about it. So these are the people I would like to appreciate in attaining this feat. And the Department of Marine Sciences, the lecturers have been so wonderful. They are wonderful as well. Dr. Ami Uzeze and Professor Chukwu. These are our great professors in the department and the PG school at large. I want to believe that every end has a new beginning. So an attempt to profile a solution to one problem is another attempt to liberate another problem. So I want to believe that every step of our life requires different version of us. So to my PhD colleague, doctors, this is another era to start defending the title doctor, because there are some things you do freely before. Now you have to be careful what you say. You have to be careful how you act. Your attitude matters this time around. So a lot of things, any mistakes from you, Unilag, the image of Unilag is at stake. So we need to be watchful this time around. And I want to believe that a lot of people we all had a very wonderful contribution to knowledge. That's PhD. But what I said, having the best PhD doesn't mean I'm the best. No, I told you I was just rolling the dice. But it is Almighty that actually let the double 6 to surface. My name is Dr. Rasheed Olatunji Moruf, a proud product of University of Lagos, the University of First Choice, and the nation's pride.